Little fruity one.
Yeah, and I got a bottle of mead too that is just gonna wait for a while.
Mead, you really got to be in a mood for mead. That one can really mess you up, and it's a terrible hangover.
Indeed. Well, we are live here. Welcome in everyone to Film Strip Live. I'm Jay.
I'm Ron.
And with us, our special guest tonight, Animated Annie, the at Hessian Hellcat on Instagram and Twitter, self-described laid back horror fanatic who brightens your morning with the hashtag morning memes on Instagram, a world traveler. And I mean, you got Derek Mears Jason behind you. I see a little Frankenstein action, and you're wearing a Fangoria t-shirt. So you come as advertised, Annie. Thanks so much for coming on Film Strip Live.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Absolutely. This is going to be a blast. So thanks everybody who is joining in watching. Go ahead and throw questions in the comments. We'll try to get to those as we go. But to get started, Annie, you're obviously a lover of all things horror and stuff. I got to know where that started for you. What was your first horror thing that really got you into it?
Okay, so this is such a me story too, for anyone that knows me. So I was 10 years old and I decided I am ready. I want to go to a haunted house. And I lived in Utah. So it was either like Corn Maze haunted house or like, one that used to be like a JC Penney type thing. Where they actually back then were still allowed to touch you and grab you and like, I got, they could hit you and stuff like that. Well, I go and my dad's just like, oh, I don't want to go. My dad hated going to all this kind of crap, and he hated anything that had a line. And like, as you can imagine, there's a line around the block. So he's just like, he's pissed. So we get about 5-10 minutes in and somebody jumps out at me and I deck him, broke his nose and knocked him out cold.
You're 10?
And I'm just like, well, it's his own fault. He jumped out at me. Like, I was like, what the fuck?
That's
and my dad's
awesome.
sitting there going, oh, I'm sorry, guys, we got to leave. So they walk us out and they walk me through the special effects area where they're putting everybody's stuff on, and my jaw just drops and my eyes widen and I start running around and I'm like, oh no, I'm good now. I want to go back in. And like, my dad was like, what? And then after that, that was just the beginning of the end. I had to rent everything I could find at Blockbuster, and yeah, just
what
better.
What were your first horror movies that you went and rented then at the Blockbusters?
Oh God. So Twilight Zone was always one my mom owned, the movie. So that was always on. Let's see, what else did we have? Demon Knight was one of like my absolute favorites because I saw that in the theater.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, I was all for that. I mean, you name it, like, the Halloweens, like the basic stuff, because I was in Utah. We didn't really have that much of a variety. It wasn't until like I moved out here 20 years ago to California, I really got to dive deep.
Oh, sure. So, awesome.
And thank God for the internet.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So what did we do before it? So
I've held off getting Shudder because I'm so behind on all my other subscription services.
Yeah.
I'm trying to catch up with them because I know as soon as I get Shudder, I'm just going to be hooked.
I'm going to tell you, like, I have literally, like, I let go of Disney Plus and I stopped watching Hulu. My wife's the one that watches that. I just watch Shudder now, and I watch what's on Prime. Like, that's kind of my go-tos.
Yeah, I got Hulu. I never use it because the ads drive me nuts, and it's technically my mom's. We all kind of share. And then there was one, Disney Plus. I only have that because my phone company gave me a year free. I've not even turned it on.
I got my Disney Plus 3 free through my former phone company.
Yeah, I say let's work all those free year plans. I think we can accumulate it like at least 3-4 years worth.
It's worth it. For The Mandalorian was pretty good. I enjoyed that.
I was just waiting for 2 to end, so then I'm just going to burn through 1 and 2.
Yeah, that's why I haven't started 2 yet either. So
I will say Netflix has ruined like the way I like to watch shows now, because if I can't watch it all at once, then hell with it. I'm not gonna watch it. I'm gonna wait till it's over.
Let me know when it's all done. I'll get to it.
Right? Yeah. Like FX recently did a docu-series on Jeffrey McDonald, which is a murder case I've been obsessed with since I was a kid, and I don't live very far from it.
I can't place it. Yeah.
Yeah. He's the doctor who eventually got convicted of murdering his family in Fort Bragg in the 70s.
Yeah.
So they made a movie out of it in the 80s, starring Gary Cole, of all people, who
I actually used to be on Element a lot, I want to say, when I was growing up.
Yeah, Fatal Vision was the name of it. Came on a lot. So anyway, I don't live that far from it now. Anyway, obsessed with that forever. So when I found out that was coming out, I was like, okay, well, that'll be next day on Hulu because I don't have cable. And so I just waited. I was like, you know what? I'm just going to wait till all 6 of them drop and then watch it all at once. I don't want to watch one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then you get all antsy and you're all in the mood. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just want to keep going.
Exactly. So,
I like having the availability to stream stuff, but like after one or two, I'm usually done. Like
Oh
I
yeah,
can't-
unless you're really sucked in, then you want to burn.
mm.
I mean, even if I get sucked into something, I'm just like, all right, I've watched two things. I'm tired. I want to lay down.
So what a modern horror are you into? Like, are there series you like, or is there stuff that you still just go back to your favorites, or what?
I honestly I like a variety of everything. I'm just not a fan of like ghost paranormal stuff. Like those ones just don't get me. So like Paranormal Activity and like Insidious and stuff, I was just like I fell asleep through most of those. Like they just bored the hell out of me. I like actual monsters and like demons, like something that's right there. Like there's been a handful of ghost ones that I've been like, okay, that was good, decent. I couldn't even tell you off the top of my head right now.
Mm.
Just those. But like so for new stuff, I loved Bloodfest, that new horror comedy.
Mhm.
Yeah, and it's got the kid who played the best friend in Spider-Man.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah,
One of the
yeah.
group, he's one of the kids in the group
Mhm.
that they go to this big Blood Fest, which is like a gigantic horror festival with like stars and all this stuff. So it'd be something like all of us would be at, and
Mhm.
everything goes
Mhm.
wrong. And that one's just excellent, really great gore. And let's see what else is there. There's Behind the Mask, The Rise of Leslie Vernon. That one's just a classic. It was a cult classic as soon as it came out. Like
Mhm.
I'm sure you guys ever seen that one?
Yeah.
I was
Okay.
supposed to watch it this week and I didn't. Because,
Okay, well you'll be so happy when you do, because it's just
Okay.
it's I don't even know how to. It's just like plain slow humor, and then there's just some like just one-liners that just kill you.
It's a
Yeah.
lot like something like Satanic Panic on Shudder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. Yeah.
It's a mockumentary of us
yeah.
with a serial killer, and he has a camera crew following him
Like
around.
imagine if Christopher Guest leaned into that. 'Cause that's kind of what it comes off like. It's
Yeah.
like any of his movies and Mighty Wind, but the horror
Yeah.
version.
Yeah.
no, you've sold me on it. You had me at Christopher Guest and Satanic Panic. I had a blast with
It's so
Satanic
good.
Panic.
Satanic Panic is funny.
Oh,
Yeah, Andy, I recommend that one if you haven't seen it.
I have that one. Yeah,
Yeah, that's a good one. But I
that
think
had
my
a
favorite.
really fun twist. I liked the twist.
Yes,
I was like, okay, impressed. They got me.
Yeah, I didn't see that coming. I thought it was going to play out, but I liked the twist in Summer of '84 for that matter. I don't know if you've seen that one or not.
I have, but you got to remind me because that was a couple years ago.
It's okay, spoilers hot,
Yeah.
everybody. But the kid thinks his neighbor is a serial killer, and turns
Yeah,
out
okay,
not
no.
only is he, but he gets away with it and leaves
Yeah.
the kid wondering where is he, which
yeah,
is
now I
great.
remember that because I remember
What a-
the one with the milk carton on the
Yeah,
cover.
yeah.
Yeah. No, I like that one. I owned that one. I bought that one. I
As a-
actually got to bring that out for my son's kid. My boyfriend's son. Sorry, I'm tired. He's a big horror fan, so we've been going burning. I'm like, when I look over here, I'm looking at the stack of movies I've been watching with him. I've been pulling out all my favorites.
That's awesome.
Have you dusted off the gate?
Oh, not yet, because let's see, we've been going hard in slashers, and now we've been kind of going into the horror comedies.
Okay.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, so like he loves it all. So like we got him, like when he's at home, he's doing Predator and Alien. He just started all those. So he's working his way to the AVPs, and to continue on. And then he just started Terminators today. So like he's hitting, like we're getting him in like the proper niches, and he's slowly going into sci-fi because he's starting to be like, sci-fi is just as fun as horror. It is just as bizarre. So
You would have some real fun with the Alien series.
Yeah.
Do like Alien through Alien Resurrection,
Mhm.
then do Predator, Predator 2, AVP, AVPR, Predators, then do all the Prometheus and Alien
and
Covenant.
then
stuff.
Covenant, yeah.
Yeah, so you work your way back to Ridley Scott at the end, but you could
Well-
throw the Predator series in the middle of it. Now skip the Shane Black one, unfortunately, but
Well, I told him just to wait for me when he gets to the AVP section, because that's when they really start becoming my favorites, because they get sillier.
yeah, oh yeah, AVPR is nothing but like how ridiculously sick can two effects guys make a movie. So.
I had a blast though.
You know what? Yeah, people bang on that movie, and it's not a great alien movie, whatever. But you know what? It's a lot of fun. It doesn't take itself seriously at all.
It's the Aliens equivalent of Tremors.
Yes, thank you.
Oh, okay.
And I love Tremors. So like when I watch it, I'm like,
Yes.
yeah, it campy. It's it's a little stupid. I'm all, but
Yeah.
are you smiling and having a good time watching it? That's what matters.
It is a good time for sure. So. I think it's fun that you have name dropped about, I don't know, a dozen episodes of Film Strip, by the way. So if people haven't checked out our podcast, with all of the movies we've been talking about, we've done Demon Knight. We pretty much did all the Tales from the Crypt
Yeah,
flicks.
we did all the Tales from the Crypt movies.
Even
Okay.
the Jennifer Grey, like
What about
hard.
the series? Have you done the series yet?
We haven't done that. No.
Okay, there's
No.
7 seasons. Okay. They're
Wow.
all excellent. The 2 best ones are Creep Course, and that's with Anthony Michael Hall when
Oh.
he's like all buff, as like when he one of the first times you see him buff after all his nerd movies, and he plays like an asshole jock. He did it right before. It was either right before or right after that Johnny B. Good movie.
I remember
Oh,
that.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
The high school jock. Yeah, I
Yes.
remember when that came out, everyone was like, "Oh my god, he got buff. That's the skinny nerd guy," you know?
Yeah.
So it's him, and he's just like an asshole jock, and I can't remember the female actress, but you'll recognize her. She was really big in the 90s. She had these big eyes, and you'll recognize her. I think she was in
Okay.
something with Christian Slater way back when. But there's that one, and then there's Death of Some Salesman is Tim Curry's, and he
Oh,
plays
ooh.
3 different characters.
But that does sound interesting because I'm always down to watch Tim Curry chew scenery. Like,
Oh,
you know,
and he
all
plays
day.
2 females and a guy.
I can see this.
And in so much makeup. I'm sure you've seen the pictures before and been like, what role is that? Because like he is so disgusting looking. And like I think it's one of my favorites of his of all time.
See, Tim Curry is the genre fans version of Nathan Lane. And that's what everyone needs to like lean into and understand. Like that's who Tim
I would love
Curry
Nathan
is.
Lane to do some horror. Like, could you imagine
I would
him?
love that.
I think he takes himself so damn seriously. He'll never
now
do
he
it.
Now he does. But back in the day,
Maybe he would. Maybe around like Birdcage days, he probably might have.
like when
but-
he was really like still like giving his all. Like
Yeah.
I could see him. Yeah, he could have done like one of those horror operas.
Yeah, but you know, I don't knock the guy, but he has had a great career, so it's you can't say
phenomenal.
it's bad,
Yeah.
but
I'm just saying it'd be fun to see him do it.
that is fun. So, but yeah, no, we've done all the Tales from the Crypt movies. We did the original Tremors. We did all the alien stuff, all that stuff. Yeah, we kind of leaned into all of that. So you mentioned a lot of horror comedy, and I'm going to switch this over because Ron's got questions about this too.
sorry.
But why is it about what is it about horror comedies you really dig?
I honestly I like being like involved. Like if a movie can suck me in by making me laugh. Also, like I've always laughed for the killer and cheered the killer on and been like, "Trip, bitch, run, go, go, go!" You know, and like I'm that asshole in the movie theater going, get her, and like like freaking out the normal people around me. So it's like, I don't know. It's just it involves me, and I feel like I'm a part of it, and it's just I don't know. You can't go wrong with laughter and gore.
Mm.
You know, and like a decent storyline. Like the
Mhm.
really super cheesy old stuff, that is just fun, just for fun.
Mm.
But the new stuff's really good. There's some really good new horror comedy. That's it.
Oh, is it me?
It's
Okay.
you.
Oh, what am I supposed to ask?
I don't know.
Okay, all right. So you came to my attention through your Instagram account, which is insane. How you've got like 17,000 followers, and
Yeah.
just what is the magic behind that? How does that? Were you
Honestly-
like, I'm gonna become like an Instagram famous, and this is just gonna be the thing I do?
Mm-mm. No, it really came around out of boredom. Yeah, I was just like, I wasn't working at the time. I was just kind of chilling at home, and I was really getting into, all the art and stuff on Instagram. And I was like, okay, well, a lot of stuff just needs to be reshared and get out there more. So I started resharing stuff, and then doing my own version of memes, because mine's not normal memes. Like most memes are just like picture with lots of crap all over it. I do some of those every now and again, but for most part, it's like funny artwork. But I call those memes.
Mhm.
So I just started hashtagging the shit out of it in the very beginning, and then I became friends with a few of the artists, and then I really started getting into like finding the small business collectibles and stuff like that. 'Cause I'm a huge collector, as you well know.
Yeah.
And I don't know, it just kind of blossomed from there, because people would send me stuff or just like would hook me up with like a discount, and I would give them shout outs, but it was never like, oh, here's all the shit, do this for me, because I do it for fun. So
Mhm.
it's like I don't get money for it, it's just I've met some really awesome people. Like you guys found me mainly probably because of Marina, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, and I know her from Instagram.
Yeah.
Like we became friends
I'm
from there.
actually who shared your posts with Irina in the first
Oh,
post.
okay. Back in the day.
You did some like aliens posts
Uh-huh.
and she's the big aliens fan in the
Yeah.
podcast.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, our
that
friendship blossomed pretty big.
that is awesome.
Yeah.
I've already commented on Jason as Derek Mears back there and stuff. You got all kinds of stuff. I've seen one of the Hellhounds from Ghostbusters
Mhm.
on in your stuff. You got all kinds of stuff. So when did you start doing your collecting? Was it around the same time or was it before?
Ooh, I honestly like artwork wise and posters
Mhm.
and even some toys. I started in the late 90s.
Cool.
And then when I moved to California in 2000, I started buying more because I had more space. And then when I moved here, probably 2004, was the first time I worked Comic-Con.
Mm-hmm.
So then I really like saw all the toys and all the cool stuff. And back then you actually could meet everybody and spend time getting to know all the artists. There wasn't a ton of people there. So like made a lot of longtime friends. And then just going there all the time, I just started coming home with more shit and more shit and more shit. And oh my God, we've been cleaning my whole loft all day and we've just found like bin after bin full of more toys. The garage is full of like Simpsons toys still in boxes, like the most bizarre random stuff. And so my boyfriend's like, well, we're gonna put some more shelves together, we'll bring these glass cabinets in, like so we can actually get the shit out of bins. I'm like, yeah, we'll get there. A lot of shit.
That's amazing that you just continue to collect it and keep up with it and everything. Do you just set it out at random? Do you like put it in pieces? I mean, how do you like to do stuff?
It's organized chaos. Every place has a spot. Like it really does. Like when you walk in, it looks like everything's in a specific spot, but shit gets moved all the time. And like it's like, no, I was supposed to be over here. Like what the fuck, because somebody will pick it up, and be like, this is so cool, and then they just set it down,
I just had like
out of the way, though.
I just had like a whole Stephen King misery thing. Like, I know you've been out of your room, Paul, because the penguins turned the other way, and your name's Annie too. So now it completely circled it.
Well, I do notice when the dust has been moved.
Yeah.
Like, oh, okay, who's over there? Or my DVDs are out of sequence. It's like I have to fix all of these now.
Yeah.
Who put the O in with the fucking B's and like why the fuck is like really? It's like simple. Like they're not in like full alphabetical, but you can just put the B's in a chunk together. Like that's pretty basic.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's reasonable.
It's the idea.
I've got to redo everything. My former roommates, like, because everything got moved around when people were leaving, so it's like all just kind of it's all jumbled. Can't find shit.
That is wild.
All right. So what do you think the coolest thing is that you've got in your collection of stuff? Because you've got some great stuff.
Oh, God, that's really hard. Are you talking like horror or just like something bizarre?
Just whatever you think is the coolest, man. I mean, you can go with something bizarre. You can do one of both.
Well, here's something random. I'll do random first while I'm thinking of the horror stuff. I actually have a chunk of the Berlin Wall.
Nice.
It's this big with the paint on it that I took out myself.
Very
Wow.
cool.
That was kind of cool. I have that somewhere. Let me think. Probably okay. So it's a tie between two things. I have a crocheted Buffalo Bill.
Oh wow.
I've seen that one. Yeah.
Yeah. with tuckable bits.
Yes.
Would you sew me? I would sew me.
So great. And it is excellent work. I'm so sad that she stopped making them. She had like the hurricane and then something else happened and then COVID and everything. So I'm hoping she comes back to it one day because she was going to make me a Hedwig one. So
nice.
Nice.
I was like, I need them to go together.
Yeah.
And then my ties with, I got a critter that's about this big.
Nice.
Yes.
And that's in this way and size.
So
and
it's
he's
the
only
full.
missing one claw. Yeah.
Oh,
but he's
that's
squishable with hard plastic hands and a little face. I found him in Ushuaia, Argentina, of all places.
Wow.
Neat.
On my way to Antarctica. I was getting on the boat to go to Antarctica, and they have this little tiny comic book store, and I'm like, mine.
Yeah. Okay, so you've mentioned some of the like, where all have you been? What's the gig about world traveling? What's all that for?
Okay, so
Maybe it's easier to say where you haven't been.
yes, that's easier. A lot of the Middle East,
Okay.
obviously, very safe.
Yeah.
We'll go this. I'll go with some of my favorites. The Russian Federation, which is the Arctic, which is above the North Pole.
Yeah.
So that in Greenland and Iceland is just gorgeous. And there's wild, big, fat polar bears everywhere, like big, healthy ones, and all their babies and shit. It's really cool to see. Antarctica for the penguins, and like again, the air is just so clean. Like you almost get sick when you come home.
Oh wow.
Because like all the shit comes out of you. And then Prague was probably my favorite just because of all the history.
Mhm.
The Bone Church was really cool.
Oh yeah.
Let's see, just everywhere, like Italy. It all started like my mom and I always had a list of where we wanted to go, and we always swore we were going to go together. And she was military, so until about 6 or 7 years ago, she was still active. So she retired, and then we waited like 2-3 years for her to kind of get shit back together, and then we just started taking big trips together.
Nice.
Yeah, our very first one together was Machu Picchu, and then the Galapagos.
Oh,
cool.
fantastic.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
That is very cool. So,
Yeah.
Outstanding.
Yeah.
So-
So,
well,
it's memories like you really want to cherish and remember. It's not like you went with like one of your friends that you eventually not friends with anymore, you know?
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
that would suck going to one of those
Yeah.
places like that. So
Yeah. You got to go with your mom. That's no, that is outstanding. So,
she's my travel buddy. We go everywhere. We do the world cruises together.
oh, cool.
Mhm.
It's so
That's where I was this year when everything hit.
Oh, wow. Where
I was
where
on a-
were you? Were you on a boat?
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
we got kicked out of French Polynesia,
Yeah.
where I had just gotten mugged.
oh, wow.
So I didn't have a phone. They got my driver's license and my ATM card. So
Oh,
I got
wow.
to spend the next 3 months without my phone number.
Wow.
I was able to pick up a phone, so I had like at least my Facebook and Instagram and shit to keep me
Mhm.
semi busy. But yeah, that fucking sucked. But we went around. We got stuck for 2 weeks just floating around because trying to figure out where the hell we were gonna go, and nobody would take us, and no one on our ship was sick or ever got sick. We were one of like I think 4 ships that didn't have one person, and
Wow.
this was nuts. It was nuts. So we're all kind of panicking. We don't know what the fuck to think because we only
Mhm.
get like 3 news channels on the ship, and the news is specifically edited by the people that send it to the ship. so you're like, okay, but wait, no, like, are we really rioting right now over toilet paper, or is it like, is it they just extreme right now? Like we have no clue what was going on. And so we come back and we're just like, or no, we finally get accepted into Sydney. So we get to Sydney and we're all ready to go. I had pushed my mom before everybody like panicked and got tickets. We were already set to leave. I was like, just trust me, we're fucking leaving. Something that's gonna blow up in our face if we don't.
Mhm.
So the day we're supposed to leave, they canceled my flight, but she's okay. So I'm like, what the fuck? So my mom's like, okay, well, I'll cancel mine. So then they re-put mine back on. And you're like, you guys don't get it. Like we go together.
Yeah.
It's you. It's like the tickets come together. You know, they just didn't get it. So we ended up getting stuck in Australia for 45 days,
Holy cow.
Wow.
3 different hotels. Really got to know the hospitality service down there. Made a lot of new friends. Yeah. It was good. It was good. But yeah, I made it back on May 4th. So May the 4th be with you. It was like all of us leveled up. I was like the whole time like drunk on the plane. Like everyone's asleep and I'm making Darth Vader noises and shit under my mask. I was like, wine me, I just need a straw. Like they just kept giving me the wine bottles, and I was like, I get it under my mask. You know, I was like, all right. I had what is it, 36 hours back to back on 2 planes, and but there were 3 planes involved. Like eventually, I got like an overlay there,
Oh my goodness.
and I couldn't take that fucking thing off my face.
That is insane.
Mhm.
Oh God. Well, what a story though, right? Like you say, like you'll never forget that one.
No, it's definitely a memorable year.
Yeah, or a forgettable one, depending on where you are. So,
Yeah, what half of the year you're at.
yeah, exactly. So, well, go ahead, Ron.
It's really wild that you were on your way to see penguins and you're like, let's go to this comic book store and buy a crate.
Well, the thing is, it's a really it's literally the town Ushuaia is called the end of the world.
Mm-hmm.
And there's 2 streets of just like shops, right? And it's all like mainly like Patagonia, you know, or this brand or that brand, and it's all back to back. And then
Mhm.
there's like, you know, tourist crap, couple little restaurants, and then some coffee shops. And then we get way at the end, right before the post office or right after the post office, and there's this comic store, and I'm like, "Ooh, we're going in." And I'm like, and my mom's like, "You won't read any of their comics." I'm like, "I don't think you understand what comic book store means. That means everything nerd related. So let's go.
Yeah.
Let's see what they got." So they had some like shitty Game of Thrones shirts where like it was so thick, like it was like heavy shirts. It was like, okay, I remember this back in the day when I lived in cold weather.
Yeah.
Like pass on this one. And I walked right to the back and I just lit up when I saw that gigantic critter. And then there was the tinier one too. And I was like, I need both of those. And the guy's like, what are you gonna do? I had to go out and buy another suitcase.
I was gonna say, how did you get that back?
Well, no, because that was when the trip was starting.
Yeah.
We haven't even gotten off the ship yet. So like we like all of our luggage already on the ship. I show up with another fucking suitcase full of critters. Like literally, like I'm like, oh yeah, let's put that in my room. And then I'm like, I have pictures of me in the hotel room or in my stateroom, just like holding the damn critters. Yeah.
So when your cabin person made up like the little, you know, swans out of your towels, you could have the critter eat that and leave it for him to find.
They have such a blast with me and my mom's rooms because every cruise, what we do is we always buy a plushie for a new animal we see in the wild.
Mm-hmm.
So we always have like a collection. And then like, and it's even stuff that like hangs from the ceiling, like stuff that moves when the boat's moving, like to keep us, you know, like stuff you'd get a baby, like really is entertaining when you're on a ship for 4 months.
Mm-hmm.
So they would always come in and like all of my stuffed animals would be rearranged, like doing like poses. Like I had like this gigantic kiwi plushie, and he was like, they had him like riding like a llama or something. Like it was hilarious. Yeah. And the people that work on the ship, they're amazing. The crew is phenomenal.
Yeah,
They're like family for all of us.
I've known lots of people that have worked in the cruise industry and stuff, and you just got to be like you are a super on and fun person at all times. Because if not, you're not going to make it in that business. Yeah, you have to be.
You're only getting like 4 hours of sleep, so like you got to be able to burn the candle at both ends.
Yeah. And have a good time with people too. I think that's the fun part of that.
Yeah.
Oh,
And we really love this one group, the World Cruises, because it's a lot of it's the same people and they come back every year.
Mm-hmm.
So like it's the same crew too that kind of jump between the ships too. And we use the same cruise ship line for all the other travel too. So like you'll see people on one ship and then you'll see them months or like years later on another one, and like you're all family.
I mean, you may as well promote them. It sounds great. Who you use?
Silver Sea Cruises.
Silver Sea Cruises.
Yes.
All right. Very cool. Well,
Tag him, Jay. I mean, we might be able to get some.
Right. Yeah. Do that, please. Yes. I feel like I'm Larry King in Ghostbusters here, but I'm just going to ask you this anyway. So you've been to both poles. Have you met Krampus or the Thing, and how are they?
Well, I wanted to search. We kind of bypassed North Pole. I think Krampus was already like heading to North, you know, like Norway and all that area.
Yeah.
But I was so mad. I really wanted to go hunt down a narwhal. I wanted to be able to see one that was in the wild. But you have to go so freaking deep, like up, and like we were already in a ship following an icebreaker because we had our own icebreaker to get through certain areas. And it was like, so everyone's glued, just hoping a narwhal pops up because like the ice is breaking. It's like, come on. But,
and just like every other animal in the wild, they're like, nope, I'm not doing it today, Jim. No.
Yeah. Oh, I will say this though. I have seen some pretty epic shit though in the real world.
I'm sure.
I had double breaching humpbacks.
Nice.
Oh, wow.
A couple hundred feet from me. I had offshore orcas, which are really rare. I was watching a group of them destroying a shark, like just shredded him.
Yep.
I've seen a skua kill a baby penguin. That really messed with me. Let's see what walruses, like almost touchable, like big fuckers. Polar bears eating a seal. I got photos of that one too.
There you go.
Yeah, just like random, like oh, and an Arctic fox about 100 feet from me.
Oh wow! Now that would be it.
He was
That is
black
a cool.
When he was solid black.
Oh, now that but that is
Yeah.
cool. So, oh yes.
Like that one, I'm like particularly proud of. Oh, and lemmings. Who can say they've seen lemmings?
No.
They have like
I've played the
little
game.
super highways. It's the funniest thing. Yeah.
Yeah, all I can remember was trying to get them to line up right and then screwing it up and like, fine, blow everybody to hell and back. We'll just start the level again.
Yeah, Yeah, they really did Lemmings wrong on that one.
Yeah.
They're just
I mean,
fast little
the-
mice with tails. Like, that's really what
the
they are.
Lemmings lobby did not do well when that game came out.
No.
They were
I actually just saw it was a cartoon. I think it was Bizarro Comics, and it was the marsupial whatever society, and it was one of them on the phone like, I want to talk to you about how you're portraying us. Like that whole group was like, we got to have a serious conversation here. That really made me laugh. That made me just think of the Lemmings.
I saw a cartoon today, and I don't know where it was from, but it was this snake in the mirror, and it had a leather jacket. And it's like, now everybody will know how cool I am. And its friend is like, you cried because you dropped a cookie yesterday, and then the next frame is him and the snake in the mirror going, yes, and I'll have my revenge. I was like, yes, that's the kind of humor I'm here for.
Is it a yes with the S?
No, they actually didn't do that. They didn't lean totally.
Oh, they failed there then.
Into the hissing snake, but yeah, they did that part of it right. So
well, that's good.
Okay, so I gotta ask you, because you watch a lot of horror movies. Obviously, you're still watching a lot of horror movies. A lot of the classic horror stuff, the slashers, the stuff that we all grew up on, and everything, have had their remakes. Some better than others. What are some of your favorites? What are some of your favorite? Like, boy, that was a really bad idea that completely exploded.
Well, even though I love to hate it, I gotta say the Texas Chainsaw Massacre with Renee Zellweger and Vigo, that one's just painful. But it does have some funny bits. I will give that. Like, I still watch it. You know, it's like it's my least favorite of them all.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I think most of those remakes were actually pretty well done. Like the one that was like almost like a play-by-play of the original, I thought that one was unnecessary because it was like you can't outdo the original, and like at least the other ones are trying to kind of shake it up a little bit. You know, there was the one, I think it was just Leatherface. It was the one where like his cousin or whatever comes back, the girl, and helps Bubba. I liked that one a lot. I liked that it was a new storyline for it, and it was still Bubba. You know, I enjoyed that one. But out of all that one,
Chainsaw Massacre 3.
Yeah, well, part 2 is my favorite, but I do love the Saws family. I mean, like you can't get past Saws family. I'm trying to think. So, like, what was your question again? It was
okay. So when we're talking about horror remakes, and I'll just go through a bunch of them. So you've got Friday the 13th back there behind it, and just to summarize, like when Ron and I did that one, we did it at the string of watching all those Friday the 13th movies. And by the time, like when it first came out, I remember walking out of the theater going like, oh God, it sucked. And then years later, after watching them in succession of all the other ones, I'm like, it's pretty much all the Friday the 13th movies in one movie. Yeah. But I kind of thought at the time it got unduly hated, and now I think people like it. But I don't know. What do you think of it?
Well, a lot of them are love to hates. Like part 1, I don't need it every year. You know, like it's not a staple. That's one like maybe I think like every 10 years, because you don't need to hear the story over and over again. And ooh, Pamela, you know, it's like, okay, we got it. Pamela, you went nuts.
Jason
like I want to actually watch the retardedness of Jason coming back to life, you know, and going and going. And I enjoy them just because of the kills. But I can't even tell you which one I like more, aside from like I know I love the Jason in space with the face shatter. That's epic.
There you go. Ron, that's yours.
Tag killed the tree. I think that's 3. It's either 3 or 7. That one with the tree, like where he just beats the shit up. I love that. You know, like
7. I think.
That was 7. That was a Kane Hodder.
Yeah, I said 3 or 7. It's 3 or 7. But, and then like the remake of Nightmare on Elm Street. Oh my God! Like, what the fuck were they thinking?
Yeah, that was horrid. Yeah, that may be the worst of all of them.
Yeah, they still could have had Robert come back. Yeah.
Well, you know, it was supposed to be Kevin Bacon, but they didn't get it done in time. Yeah.
That would have destroyed his fucking whole career.
Yeah, right. Which is amazing. So,
dude, I mean, if it had been Kevin Bacon, we would have had to see Freddy's penis, and I don't think anybody wants that.
And his ass. You know, he has to have the ass shot.
You're talking about Hollow Man and what's the Wild Things, the first
Wild
one.
Things. Yeah,
and the first Friday the 13th when he's running around in the banana hammock.
That is true. That's the original Friday the 13th. He to be a good sport though, he did tweet like him laying in the bed smoking the joint, saying, "I don't know, guys, I hear something weird's happening today." Like that was I saw that on Twitter. I was like, "Hey, you know what?
That's
good for you for not hating it anymore."
My mom actually met him. When she was so when my mom was in the Marine Corps, she was a CW05, so she was in charge of all the dead over in Fallujah, and she kind of bounced a couple places, But so when she was stateside, her and the Marines would I guess practice at the LA morgue. So they'd go out on body calls, so they kind of get an idea of how, liver temps and the smells and all the grody stuff.
hmm
Well, the closer, the show that Kira Sedgwick's on, or was on, I don't know if it's still on anymore. They invited my mom's Marines and herself down, and Kevin showed up, and they all had lunch and shit. And she said he was just the nicest guy she's ever met. That he's completely genuine, hung out with everybody, had one-on-one conversations, did autographs and photos, and like hung out for a couple hours.
That's
like
cool.
just as himself, just with his wife, hanging out with some Marines. Like I really appreciate that, because that just shows he's like legit good human.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's not enough of those.
No, especially
Sorry. Jay and I were both, one of the things that bonded us before I got on Film Strip was we both watched The Following.
Yes.
I loved that show. I was
Yes.
so correct when it got canceled. It still had at least one more season in it, I thought.
They needed to have, if I remember correctly, wasn't Valerie Curry still alive on that? The redheaded girl?
It's been so long.
I think
She got-
so.
That's one I want to rewatch. Is that on Netflix? That's one I want to actually.
I don't know where that one lives.
Got to be somewhere.
It's
Gotta
got.
be somewhere.
You would think Hulu probably has it because it's in that same NBC Universal world.
There are
or
Amazon
Fox
Prime.
or whatever. Yeah, maybe Prime.
But see, that's one I would actually buy. Like I really enjoyed that one. I really liked seeing Kevin as a cop and not over the top cop. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
'Cause
he was
there's
really
a lot
good.
of those ones that everyone overly does it.
Yeah,
I
no,
thought he did it just him.
there was a lot of good, subtle, like the best parts of the book of Silence of the Lambs kind of thriller and horror stuff going on. in
Little
that.
homages,
Yeah, Thomas Harris, that's what I'm trying to spit out.
Yeah,
When in his best stuff, and I've read several of his books, and some of them not so great, but the cops in like Black Sunday and the cops and all the cops and including Clarice and Silence of the Lambs are all very, there's something like real to them. It's almost like watching, it's like Tom Clancy books. There's so much realism to them that you kind of like them. And
even with a little Patterson too, with the character
Mhm.
development, because Patterson is real deep. I would love a combo of the three. Could you imagine like put all those together in like just one perfect writer? Like that would be wow.
That would be good. That would be good. But no, I love Ron and I connected over that over The Following and then Ninja movies, and that got him on film.
Of course, Ninja movies.
And so
I still think that's a guy thing predominantly still.
It is.
Come through.
Look, our friend Mike from Dana Buckler would agree, and the Atkins Undisputed podcast, we should say. So yeah, it's definitely a dude thing. Though I did con my wife into watching Ninja 3: The Domination with me back when we were doing those movies, and she had lots of questions about the V8 scene. But other than that,
we should slower break her into do Bloodsport.
Yeah. She's
Double
seen that
Impact. I'm just saying those are ones girls can like enjoy because it's it's Jean-Claude.
It's Jean-Claude. Yeah.
You get a little Jean-Claude love,
Oh yeah, no.
And
Yes.
then American Kickboxer. Those ones were entertaining too.
Yeah. Is that Sasha Mitchell or
Sasha Mitchell was in 2 and 3.
Okay.
But the first one was someone different. I can't think of who it is.
Well, there was another one too. It's like the best of the
Best of the best.
Yes.
Eric Roberts was in Best of the Best.
Yes, it had a killer theme song too.
Yes.
I was watching Best of the Best ones, and my wife did walk in, and she's like, "That's the guy from all the Lifetime movies," because that's what she knows Eric Roberts from. And I'm like, "Yes, it is."
There are so many hidden stars, I gotta say, because I've been in the hateful and grateful like rabbit hole
Yes.
men lately, just
There's
because
some good ones.
off politics, and I've just been like, there's no political ads on that channel, so I'm just like, I'm
No.
here, and I can't get off of it. But there is like all these people. I'm like, holy shit, I know her. She was that one girlfriend, the shitty girlfriend, or like that asshole guy with the pop collar.
Yes, I know. I'm sitting there watching, and I'm like, "Yeah, I know you. I remember you. I thought you were cool. You died in Scream 3. Yes." Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I look. Ron and I also have bonded over our love of Lifetime movies, especially the killer cheerleader subgenre, which is awesome.
Okay. I DVR'd so many of them, and like my boyfriend's watched a few with me, and he's like, that was actually really good. I'm all, well, these new like 2019, 2020 ones got some solid twists going. Like
they got some money now.
Let's watch Identity Theft of a Cheerleader. Did you see that one?
Yes, I've seen that one. Yes.
Oh, I gotta check that one out.
I didn't watch it. I was like, okay, and I liked the actress, the crazy one. Like I was like,
look, Mar Vista, the production company in Canada that does all of this, has made some money, and they've started to spend it now.
They make like what, 50 to 100 a year. 'Cause
Yeah,
they got
I mean-
the whole Christmas ones too that are coming.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Well, see, my favorite thing is when Lifetime does its double genre dip. It's like Christmas movie, but insane mom. You
That's
know,
right, too. It's not the Hallmark Channel. We're not watching lovey-dovey shit. Everything's gonna have
No.
some murder or fucked up shit attached.
exactly
So I-
right. The sleepwalking wife who's being gaslit by the ex-boyfriend. Yeah, there's that one. Yeah, they're all great. Well,
Stepdaughter from hell.
right. Yeah, there's always that. Yeah, no. The Lifetime is a well, it's not even a guilty pleasure. It's just a pleasure.
I will say now that you brought up guilty pleasure though. Okay,
Mhm.
so little off subject on the horror, but lately another thing we've been trying to not like just again no politics, and this was before I kind of flipped on to Lifetime. I got a little drunk one afternoon and was flipping channels, and that goddamn Love app was it Love After Lockup?
yes.
Oh yeah.
The new one came on, and I'm just all okay. Train wreck can't turn off. There's that one. There's 90 Day Fiance the other way, where they're
Yeah.
sending Americans to these really fucked up countries and going, let's see what happens.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that one can't turn off. That one I'm just glued. There was and then there's one more. What's the other one? Oh, Wife Swap. Holy
Yeah.
shit. And they're all like the 2004, 2006 reruns. So this is before they even learned they could script shit. So
Yeah,
like
right.
this one guy, and he's like this close to punching like the swapped mom, and he's like, I'm gonna, you know, and you're just like, oh, we're gonna go. I
Is
really,
that-
really want to follow up 10 years later. I want to see where those families are now.
right. Oh yeah. There's got to be like a lot of rampant divorce at the end of that.
A lot of murder suicides.
There's a lot
I
of
was gonna say,
Lifetime movies.
I
at
hated
the
all
end of
that stuff, and then I just got sucked into those ones, and I'm like, Jesus Christ.
You
Like,
can go down the rabbit hole with that though, particularly like, yes, you live in California, so you've been in harder lockdowns than maybe where Ron and I have lived too. So like you're there, right?
Yeah,
It's,
I was a hermit to begin with, so when this happened, I was like, I was more pissed that like they didn't have exactly what I wanted when I did go to the store.
right.
You know, I was like, no, look, I need one small thing of toilet paper, one thing of fucking hand wash, and then a thing of cheese. Where's the fucking cheese? You know, it was like the most stupid shit. And it's like you have like 9,000 crackers, but you're out of everything that's perishable.
Right.
Like I didn't get that at all. I was just like, okay, I understand like stockpiling canned goods, you know, like all this other shit. I'm all, but when all the fruit and shit's gone, it's like, okay, you guys realize that's gonna be all bad in like 3 days.
Right. Yeah.
Because none of you
I-
assholes are gonna have room in your fridge. You know?
it's like that other meme I see where people like you pick up the broccoli like, well, you want to come to my refrigerator to die? So because that's what happens with a lot of fruit here if we forget
Exactly.
about it.
Yeah.
You know, well, I mean that was the thing. Like we just cruised down to Campbell's aisle and we're like, we're at home. This is easy.
See, where I'm at, I just picked up the Postmates Uber Eats app because I can get any kind of food I want. So it's like, I'm like, tonight, oh, I'm feeling Peruvian. Ooh, I want Indian. Oh, I'm gonna do burgers. Like I can get a little bit of everything, and it's good quality.
Nice.
And they do like a deal for free delivery all the time. So I'm just like, okay, well, if I'm not paying for the delivery, it's just like me fucking eating it in the restaurant. So fuck it.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, I ended up getting the I got the paid subscription to Postmates or one of them for
Guys, I don't know
Getting a bit-
why. I need to just do it by now. Like I'm like fighting myself on it, and I'm like, dude, I probably would have saved myself like a couple $100 by now.
it's really helpful because they chop off the fees, like
I know. I need
that
to
extra
just-
$5 or whatever they tack on for mystery fees.
Yeah, because we only like like one night a week so far right now. Excuse me. My boyfriend brings his son over and we'll cook. But otherwise, it's like if it's just me here, for dinner, like I don't want to cook
Mhm.
because then a lot of it's going to go to waste. If I'm cooking for them, I can send them home with half and keep half, you know, and then like we all have something, you know, leftovers. But like I don't know how to really cook small portions. I know how to make.
It's hard. There's
Yeah.
no good cooks for one. Like no,
Yeah.
I remember when I was single, it was the same way. So
Yeah.
I got to tell you this because it's in the comments. Two of our other co-hosts, Irina and Nick, are both also huge 90 Day Fiance fans, and so and they're also the big Aliens fans too. But that's their thing. Yeah, they love that stuff. So I had to give them the shout out for that, for sure. So, okay, Annie. So, if you could be cast as any character in any of your favorite horror movies, what would you want to be cast as?
I think they both die sadly. The two characters I what do you call it? I'm blanking the word that I see most of myself in is our cute little nerd from Scream. You know,
Mhm.
everyone tells the rules just because, you know, I'm the horror nerd.
The Jamie Kennedy.
And now I'm completely blanking the other one. But the stoner guy, obviously, because you saw me, I was just smoking weed a minute ago. That's the other reason I'm a little forgetful. The stoner guy from Cabin in the Woods. It's just like, okay,
Oh.
who the fuck's trying to fuck with me? And then nobody listens to you. Go like, no, dude, something's really fucked up is happening, you know. Like, but I can see that being me, getting me all the way then, and be like, well, fuck it, we're going down, you know. Like, that would be because when I was, oh, you'll love this. Here's a fucked up story. So, I was in Honolulu when that missile thing
Oh,
happened.
the fake nuclear
yeah.
missile.
So
Oh
it's
yeah.
6:00 in the morning, and all of our phones go off, and it's nuclear missile inbound. Get to your nearest shelter, and I'm sitting in my suite on the ship, and I'm like, I walked to my mom's room, and I'm all, so what are we supposed to do? And she's like, well, there's nothing we can do, and I kind of cried a little bit, walked back to my room, grabbed a bottle of tequila, walked back into her room, sat on the floor, and just started fucking drinking at 6 in the morning. And then 45 fucking minutes later, we get the text, false alarm.
Wow.
Oh
40
wow.
Later, do you know how fucking angry I was when we came out of there and 90% of the people on the cruise didn't even know what the hell was going on because all their phones were in their safe? And I was like, are you kidding me?
That
Like, it
wow.
was me, my mom, a handful of guests, and all the crew going like, fuck.
You like had a front seat at the end of the world though. I mean, for
Seriously,
like a
and that
half
was
hour.
the beginning of that trip. Like, we were like, I think 3 days in. And I was like, I just want to go. I'm gonna go home. I don't want to keep going. Just fucking get out of here. And like after that, it was literally, I was like, well, shit. Keep the tequila in my room. I always want a full bottle, even if one's at half. I need another one replacing it. You know, like alcohol was came with it was all inclusive. So I always made sure my room was stocked.
You had a real Miracle Mile moment there
Yeah.
for half an hour.
Yeah, I've had a few of those along my adventures. If you want some other laughs, we were in Egypt, and we were on a bus going. I think we were on our way to Luxor. I believe it was either we were on our way to Luxor or between Luxor and Cairo, and we're driving through, you know, like outskirt type villages, and I look over and there's all these little kids playing kick the propane tank. And I'm like, I about guarantee that fucker's full. Like, that's like the first thing in my head. And then I look behind them, and the kid's probably about 8 or 9, has a 9mm, and he's sitting there going, pew, 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 at the bus. And I'm like, I'm hitting the security guy. I'm like, I think he needs to move a little faster. And he goes, shit, before anybody else sees. And I was like, I won't tell anybody. I didn't tell anybody until the bus stopped, and they're like, "Oh, they did!" I was like, "Well, you guys need to look outside."
Look up off your phone.
Yes.
And see the world around you.
So that was a
exploding.
little freaky.
I would imagine so. Yeah.
Yeah.
That would be. Yeah, that would
I'm
be
sure
the
there's a few
craziest.
other things, but those were the worst that I could think of.
And those are pretty good ones.
Exactly.
Yeah. There's
So
other
what-
ones like that'll come later.
So what was COVID's over, or to a point where we can live with it, whatever you want to say. What's your next like planned trip? Like, where are you going next?
Okay, so if the world, we were supposed to actually go on another world cruise 2021.
Mhm.
We were set up for that. We were set up for 2020, which ended, but we were also already booked for 2021. And we had just like 2 months before everything, like COVID even popped up, had just switched it to 2022 because we liked the itinerary better. So we're like, oh, we'll push this one. So 2022, if the world's back to normal, we'll be doing world cruise because it's hitting new ports like around Africa and stuff. But if
Oh,
the
neat.
world's not okay, I don't want to go near fucking Africa right now.
Sure.
Like, no offense to them, but you know, like if it's this bad here, I can only imagine in third world, you know. But otherwise, I want to get there.
You know, you would say that, but it's funny. All the Ebola virus countries,
Uh-huh.
they've got it taken care of because they're
Yeah.
used to
They're a little more used to pandemics.
they're used to taking precautions and
Yeah, they just kill people in the back and then just bury them. Like, oh, we
Following
got
with-
nobody, no COVIDs. They're gone. No, nothing happened.
Yeah, I've
well,
seen
they're
blood.
more used to like, you know, oh, it's outbreak season. Let's put our gloves and our mask on and don't touch the
Mhm.
corpses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't touch the corpses.
Yes,
Don't put them near the water source. Yeah.
That's part of your lifestyle. It's not where we're from necessarily. So,
Yeah.
but it's a good point though, Ron. Yeah, it's they've handled that and lived with that better than we do. So
Yeah, it's weird that like, Sudan and
Yeah.
Nigeria and places like that are like, oh no, we've got like 50 COVID cases. We're good.
yeah, like all the blood diamond countries are good.
But you also got to remember too, it was a lot easier for them to cut off incoming travel
Yep.
because it was already a pain in the ass to get in there as a foreign national.
Mhm.
You know,
And so
you have to have shots and passport. Like, I mean, like you should see the shot book I needed when we went to a few places in South America, and I was like, "You want me to how many?"
yeah, I can
know,
believe
like,
that.
I was,
Yeah,
yeah.
you say this as if you're scared of needles. I see the tats you got going on. So come on now.
This is topical, not in me. Like
True. Okay,
topical
fair.
sunburn.
Fair-
I can handle a sunburn.
Fair enough. That's a fair point. So, well, Andy, this has been an absolute blast having you here on Filmster Live. We'll definitely have to have you on a show to review a movie with us. We'll have to find something.
Dude, that'd be so much fun. I actually really enjoy shredding movies. So let's make
That is our speciality, as they say.
Yeah.
So yeah, that we'll definitely have you on to do that again. Tell folks how they can follow you, all the stuff that you've got going on. What's the best way to keep up with you?
You can follow me on Instagram, Hessian Hellcat. I'm on Twitter too under the same name. Don't do so much there, but that is where my X-rated memes go because I get in too much trouble on Instagram.
That was one of the
Yeah.
questions I had was
Oh.
how many times have you had posts removed from Instagram? Because it seems like every week you're like, well, they got another one.
I honestly, I get violated out of nowhere for like a 6 to 8 month old post all the way down to 2 years ago. So it's like it's the algorithms, and it's just like, really, you're getting mad at me for that? And it's like you get like they need like a sarcasm bot so it can like read through it. Like, oh, this is a meme. Avoid. Like
Yeah.
this is too much shit. But the funniest parts is I'm always threatened with like, we're gonna take your whole account, and I'm like, why? What the fuck did I do? And they'll never tell me what I did. And they won't even tell me half the times what they took away. So I'm like, oh wait, tell me what I fucking did. Don't tell me like you violated guys. Like, tell me how I did it. Like that would, I would really appreciate that.
I look, I don't understand all that stuff. I just know I got a copyright strike on a YouTube for a song I wrote as the theme song of a podcast I did once. So I was like, okay, fine, take it out.
Like I have the rights to use it.
I was like, look, I never made any money off the damn song anyway. I'm not going to try now. So
Yeah.
I mean, well, look, I know a lot of burgeoning computer scientists, and there's some genius kids, but we do need a few that are like trained in the sarcastic bot algorithm. I'm gonna throw that out there the next time
They
I
want
talk to
humor
them.
to completely go away. I'm like, that's the whole, like for me, that's what I wanted from Instagram. It was like I use it for fun. I want to smile and laugh and like have a good time. And you can't survive the horrors of the world if you're not laughing.
That is an excellent way to end it. So again, Annie, thanks so much for coming on Filmstrip Live. All the Filmstrip socials, guys, Filmstrip Pod. You can find us on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. Of course, go to filmstrippodcast.com. You'll find links to the show. And we got a lot of cool stuff coming up, though, Ron. We're launching a YouTube channel now, so this video will live there along with our Facebook. We're going to do Twitch. All kinds of cool things. So yeah, we're
put a little bit of a face on then.
yeah, we're trying to do a little bit of fun stuff out there, but we've got we've got a lot of episodes going on right now in November. Of course, we're sort of doing a grab bag in November of stuff. We just released La La Land as this week. We had our friend Mike from Amateur Artour Zone. We've got a couple of other guests on this month to do stuff. We've got Days of Thunder coming out later this month, because why the hell not? Do that. So we've got a Gilbert and Sullivan movie next week. We've got and then we've got Days of Thunder, and then we're ending the month with Event Horizon, which is a real blast. And then December is going to be a lot of fun because we decided we needed to do like a mix of 80s and then big horror series. So we're doing St. Elmo's Fire coming out in December.
You gotta mix in Silent Night, Deadly Night.
Well, that is on the list to do. So you may be our special guest for when we get around to those, because on December the 14th, though, Ron, Nick, and I are dropping all 6 episodes of the Paranormal Activity series. We did every darn one of them. over a period of years, and we're
Yeah.
putting them all out.
Yeah, they got sparingly.
We put them out. We recorded them over years. We're putting them out all on one day, big time. And then we've got a real fun episode at the end of the year, Ron, with some of your pals.
Nice.
Yeah, we're teaming up with our good friends Tis the Podcast, who've been on here a couple times, and I've been on their show, and Jay's been on their show, and we invited them on to do a holiday special with us, and we're going to talk about one of Jay and my favorite movies, New Year's Evil.
Yes.
That's a solid. That's it. That is a New Year's staple.
Yes. That
every New
that-
Year's.
I don't make it to the ball drop. I watch New Year's Evil and go to bed. That is my thing.
I have specific horror movies for every holiday. That's
Awesome.
a staple.
Awesome. What's yours for Bastille Day? I'm curious.
Bastille Day. I do have one. I just can't remember the name of it.
Is it eels?
No, but it's either I can't remember. It's European.
Martyrs?
Yeah, I gotta find it. I'll actually look it up and get back to you. But
Please let us know.
don't forget, because Thanksgiving Cup, you got to do Thanksgiving.
Yes. And Thanksgiving 3.
All of the Thanksgiving. Yeah.
Yes. I've been talking Ron into those for years. But yeah, we've got all that stuff coming up, and then a big fun 2021 coming around too, gang. So thanks everybody who tuned into the live, or if you watch this later, hey, appreciate it. Follow Annie. She's a blast. Absolutely. If you think she's fun here, she's absolutely as much fun on Instagram and Twitter. So follow her stuff. Follow Ron at Hollywood Ron. I'm at Jay the Podcaster, or at Film Strip Pod. You can find our stuff. So thanks everybody for showing up, and have a great evening.